What's going on, guys? We're live on the Tackle 22 fishing page. We got my man Chad Bailey over there from the Size Matters Trail, and we're going to be discussing a pretty exciting event. I'm super excited about it. Any excuse to get out and go fishing with some veterans and some outstanding supporters, especially like the folks over at the Size Matters Trail. I'm super excited for it. So, Chad, welcome. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you for putting on this tournament for us.
Oh yeah, man. I'm proud to do anything I can to help you guys, and proud to have your partnership with the trail too. You guys have done a lot for us over the last couple of years and supporting our veterans. So I'm really excited about this tournament. It's going to be our first time to really give back, the way we want to. So we're excited for it.
It's always really easy to support good people, man. So with you and the committee that's backing the Size Matters Trail and the anglers that fish it, it's really easy to support that group of people. And we're proud to do it, and we're going to continue to do it for as long as humanly possible. But so let's tell people a little bit about what we got going on. What we got 43 viewers watching. Welcome everybody. I see you blowing up the comments. Thank you so much for joining us. Chad, why don't you tell them a little bit about the tournament?
Yeah. So, and I don't have my computer with me, so any questions, man, you just pick them up and shoot them my way. I'm not going to bring the chat up on my side, so I'll let you handle that. But yeah. So obviously with our trail, we do 4 tournaments a year. It's ACA sanctioned trail, Division III. We're based out of the Florida Panhandle, so we fish the Apalachicola River and Lake Seminole. And for this tournament, it's going to be November 12th. And it's going to be out of Sneads Park, which is in Sneads, Florida. It is on the banks of Lake Seminole. There's a really nice boat ramp there, pavilion, plenty of parking, plenty of room for us to really get out and stretch your arms a little bit and not have to worry about space. It's a really nice little venue to host an event at. So the tournament's going to be November 12th. Just a few, some quick rundowns that we know for sure. It's going to be $150 buy-in. You can have as many people on the boat as you can legally hold. As long as you're within the laws, the more the merrier. We absolutely encourage, having a veteran on the boat. It's a big thing this tournament, is about. And me and Eddie will absolutely hit way more on that topic, but we definitely want to make sure, for this tournament that if you want to allow a veteran to fish on your boat, that we can help you if you don't have one. So that's something that we've already talked about.
So talking with Chad, the having a veteran on the boat is not a requirement for this tournament, though we absolutely hope that you will reach out to veterans in your area and bring them out fishing along with you. If you're going to come out and fish the tournament, but maybe you don't know veterans or you'd like us to try to pair you with a veteran, please reach out to me through either our website, the contact link, or you can just message the Tackle 22 Fishing Facebook page. I will find a veteran for you if I can. If you're interested, this is what it's all about. Tackle 22 Fishing, as an organization, we take veterans and active duty service members out on fishing trips to just teach a positive outlet for PTSD related stress, as well as just, spend good time on the water with good people who serve this nation. So if you're interested in having a veteran on your boat and we can help out with that in any way, please let me know. Just shout out some people in the comments here. I see my partner and brother from another mother, Justin's in the comments. What's up, man? He is our Georgia state lead. We got Mr. Steve Fortson, who's on our board of directors. He is our director of development. So please be sure and give these gentlemen a follow. They do work hard and do a lot for this organization. Hey, my sister's in the chat. How about that? So welcome everybody. So I've never fished Lake Seminole. I'm actually pretty excited. The last time I fished out there on the Apalachicola, I got my butt handed to me.
Yeah, I mean, they're both excellent fisheries. the Lake Seminole is formed by two rivers, the Chattahoochee and the Flint rivers. Both rivers, kind of go up through your guys' areas, and both of those are real good fisheries. But they converge in the Chattahoochee Sneads area, but down below Bainbridge, and it creates Lake Seminole. There's a really nice dam system, the Jim Woodruff Dam, there that dams it up and leads into the Apalachicola River. For this tournament, we are going to allow Lake Seminole and the Apalachicola River. We do that for multiple reasons, but it just kind of helps everybody stay off of each other. The main part of Lake Seminole, the actual, what most of us consider the main lake, is not very big. It's only 3 or 4 miles across. I mean, it's kind of a big circle. And then you have, two chutes off of it, the two river systems. And you can go up the river systems quite a few miles. I mean, up the Flint, you can go, 15 or 20 miles really before it necks down into a river. The Chattahoochee, not as much. But most of the time, neither of those flow. So you got a good area down on the lower end that is, lake fishing that you can drag, you can suspend, you can anchor fish. They're both of them have channels that are marked out very well. As long as you follow your maps, you can travel throughout the lake pretty easily. There are a lot of stumps and stuff, but most of them are marked, and so like I said, you can stay in the river channels. But overall, it's just a really good fishery. Lake Seminole has a really high number, like a really high concentration of, 15 to 20 pound fish. So, if you come down here and you're a blue cat fisherman, a bait dragger, you have a really good chance to just, to catch those fish all day long, and you're going to see a lot of 30 and 40 pound fish. It's just, it's a good fishery that holds that. And then if you go down below the dam, I mean, you get into a river system. There's always some flow down there. There's a lot of structure. And I mean, if your goal is to anchor up and fish, that's, that's a good area to go. Both of them very accessible from Lake Seminole. You can be on either one in 5 minutes, and both are real good fisheries. But I think the guys that enjoy fishing lakes, that want to come down and actually fish Lake Seminole, will really enjoy that fishery and probably be surprised at how good of a fishery it is. I think it's a kind of a hidden gem down here that not enough cat fishermen have got to explore yet.
I'm excited to get out and try it. We've been fishing a lot of new waters lately, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting Seminole on the list. And I don't care who you are, getting or where you fish, getting out and just smashing 20-pound fun fish all day long. I mean, that's a great time to me. I know a lot of people are running around chasing PBs all day long, but if I could put double digit 15, 20 pounders in the boat, I'm having a good time, man. And that's what, that's good for vet trips and stuff like that. We do. It's just, a little bit of progress reporting on Tackle 22 fishing this year. We are at 103 vet trips completed this year so far. So if you count our volunteer staff, which many of them are in the comments right now. So I'm going to ask all of our volunteers and staff that are watching this live right now to just put a T22 in the comments. So that way the viewers and supporters can see who you are and send you a friend request and follow. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, man. I'm hoping that we can hit 150 trips for the year. And if you really think about the 103 trips that have been completed by our volunteers this year, it's really 206, because many of our volunteers, including myself, we're all veterans, and we all have or not all of us, but some of us, we still deal with PTSD and stresses from the military as well. So it's still therapeutic for us. So when you really think about it, that's 206 veterans going out fishing. And I couldn't be more proud or more humbled by the work that's being put in by our volunteer staff and supporters. But we
Yeah,
got somebody waiting.
I think you're dead on with that, and I think one other thing that you could even consider is the fact that you also have those guys going out catching bait. A lot of times that's a whole separate trip. You got those guys taking people to fish tournaments, and the camaraderie that you have at the weigh-in or at the Waffle House afterwards. That's a whole nother trip event in itself sometimes, man. So the reach is really way more than that 103 number could ever probably touch on.
Absolutely. Especially our Illinois team is on top right now. The state of Illinois and the veterans up there are kicking butt and taking names. And they travel quite a bit to fish Clinton Lake. And I've heard of these guys going out there, leaving their houses at midnight and sleeping in their vehicles until the veterans get there. I mean, that I don't care who you are, I've done it, but that's dedication, and that is absolute commitment to your brothers and sisters in arms, and every not just our team Illinois, but everybody out there. Thank you so much. But we finally got the man, the myth, the legend in the box, Mr. Dale Dunaway.
Can y'all hear me all right?
Yes, sir. We can hear you just fine.
Can y'all hear that fan? Is it too loud?
No, it'll work.
All right. It's hot out here.
Mr. Robert Harvey, who is our director of operations, told me that Illinois themselves has 28 trips.
Wow.
Which is amazing.
Hey, I'll say one thing, man, about the Illinois area in general, and this just kind of comes from me getting to know Robert and Adam and those guys with the Clinton Lake series.
Yeah.
But man, those are some good fishermen up there that really, really enjoy just going out and fishing. Man, they have great turnouts at their tournament, and the trail overall, man, they just have good people in that area. I hope to get up there this year and wasn't able to. And, I absolutely want to go up there if I can't make it before the year's end. I'd like to go up there next year, man, and just share some love, because that's a really good group of guys up there.
You let me know, because I've been threatening to go up there and fish with our staff in Illinois, and I need to make that trip myself. So we can split costs and drag the boat up there. We'll get it done.
Yeah, let's figure it out, man. Because I definitely want to go up there. Because man, I like to see what they do, man. I mean, it's nothing for them to have 40 or 50 boats at a local 8-hour tournament. I mean, that's awesome.
And what's really impressive, I don't want to beat on Illinois too much, but what's really impressive is they got a late start. So, we started our volunteer program January 1st of this year, and they were still under ice. They didn't thaw out until April. So, the rest of the country and our staff had a 3 to 4 month head start before these guys started getting out fishing. So it's crazy, how things have gone. But we're gonna be fishing in Florida in November. Our Florida team is solid. We got some excellent saltwater fishermen, a charter captain, Jimmy Gallup. He runs out of Destin, doing saltwater trips. We got Jimmy Kent, who's the state lead out there, also doing saltwater trips, and Mitch Bronson, who is our region director for Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi. Alabama, Mississippi. He does all his fishing out of Panama City Beach. So we haven't really tapped into the catfishing in Florida, but for Florida fishermen out there supporting the Size Matters Trail and veterans, if you want to get out there and do some fishing with Tackle 22, we can put you in a seat. And I was so proud, man. And and the supporters that we have across the nation, everybody on social media, everybody clicking the share button, dropping a like or a comment. You guys don't understand how much that helps the organization through not just social media monetization, but exposure, bringing awareness to the program. So whether it's Tackle 22 or Size Matters, if you can relate to someone's content and you enjoy it and you want to see more of it, please hit that share button and comment and like, because that's what all of social media is driven by, and it helps us really keep going.
Yeah, I was actually Stacey Gaston had me on SmackDown Catfishing a couple of weeks ago, and that was one of the big topics that we kind of talked about. Is the positive promotion, of just each other, whether it's a tackle company, what I mean, like Dale, or a nonprofit like you, or a YouTube channel like myself, or a trail, or just supporting local tournaments and stuff. The number one thing you can do when it comes across, whether you ever are able to physically take a veteran fishing, simply hitting the like button when you post a picture, or sharing it, or leaving a comment that says good job for somebody to be able to read. There's so many ways to tune into that, but it helps keep you up. It keeps you relevant in the algorithms. And I know that's kind of mumbo jumbo for a lot of people who may not care about to hear about the algorithms and stuff. But that is, and that's the behind the scenes thing that literally just hitting the thumbs up button and leaving a comment on something goes so far. And just like a live stream like this, simply clicking the like, leaving a comment, and it doesn't even have to be nothing besides, hey, from Florida, That goes so far in what your ultimate goal is. So that's just something, my little peg on the viewers, man. Always try to show your support, when you can.
So Justin Big Country says he's been repping the Size Matters Trail and Apex across the country.
Yeah, man.
As we travel, which he certainly has.
He wears that shirt. He has took it to way more states than I have. He tags me and everything, man.
Yep.
But that's such a good thing, man. Guys like Justin, really take this whole industry, and they help these small companies and businesses, and channels, and things from myself, all the way up to the highest end. It goes a long ways. And those are people that I think in time, you'll see will be the real salesman of this country, versus, maybe a big name person. I mean, you have to live a brand, and guys like Justin is absolutely, can promote you in way more ways than you could have ever probably imagined.
Right. So let's shout out Dale a little bit. So Dale has actually been with us since day one. He was with us before Tackle 22 really even had a name. He sponsored us and supported us. Dale cares a lot about veterans, and he cares a lot about supporting our volunteer staff. He supports a lot of our volunteer staff with terminal tackle, and that's just huge, man. And not just that, not just supplying tackle or discounting tackle, stuff like that, man. Dale's been family since day one, and we've tried to surround ourselves with people who are like family and bring that family atmosphere to what we do. And Dale's even on our Discord server, where we kind of have our own community for our volunteer staff and supporters, and pops in from time to time to give a little shout out and a little some words of motivation to our volunteer staff. And for that, Dale, I love you more than a man should.
Sorry, bro.
So let's did we get the tournament hours nailed down?
Yeah. So all right. So one thing for everybody to keep in mind, if you look on the Size Matters Trail page, or when I think for the most part, me and Eddie have a pretty much nailed down our flyer. I think we'll probably post that tomorrow, to share more information. And then we'll probably in the following days post all the rules and, and whatnot. But I think the flyer should go live tomorrow. So keep in mind that all of the times on this flyer will be Central Time. The tournament is in Central Time. And even though it's literally 2 minutes away from the river that switches over to Eastern Time, because it's in Sneads, all these tournament hours will be Central Time. But what we're looking at is like I said, November 12th. We're looking at 4:00 a.m. Central Time, opening up our formal registration. We'll be there, have everything set up. We'll start registering boats, taking money at 4:00 a.m. At 5:00, we're going to do captain's meeting. I know that with an early tournament like that, we're going to have some people dragging in a little bit late. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, that's no, you can't be late, man. You got to come down early.
Dude, I'm early to everything. So
yeah. So, so like I said, but captain's meeting will be at 5:00 a.m. We'll make it pretty quick, read over the rules and regulations, and just make sure everybody's on the same page. Usually it takes us less than 15 minutes. And then we'll cut the fishermen loose. That'll give you about 45 minutes to get to where you're going safely, where you don't have to rush, and you can have lines in the water at 6:00 a.m. That should be right about the time the sun comes up. So you're going to get a really good early morning bite, really before the sun really starts peeking through real good. You're going to get a good early morning bite. So lines in the water at 6:00 a.m. and you'll have 10 hours of fishing, lines out at 4:00 p.m. and you must be in the weigh-in line at Sneads Park by 4:30. If you're not there by 4:30, you'll be disqualified. So, that plays part of your strategy. If you're going to trailer out and make a long run, just got to make sure that you're back by 4:30. So you have to cut them hours a little bit short.
Hey, Chad, I hear Dale's tackle is going to be there. Can you?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. One thing that I did notice is that I've got my banners all rolled up and stuck to the side in the corner, but I have the Dale's tackle banner is the one that I got hung up on the wall here. So this banner travels with us, and I think Eddie kind of hit it on the head earlier. Dale has also been, a supporter of Size Matters fishing in general, really since the beginning of time. When Dale didn't have, hooks or swivels or anything. I mean, it was nothing but lead weights. And, he called me out of the clear blue one day and said, "Hey, man, you come across your channel. You want some weights?" And I was like,
that's his favorite.
Yeah. I was like,
now I hate him.
And he asked me, he was like, so funny story is he asked me, he was like, "That's cool, man." He's like, "I make weights and, I got a bunch of them in stock. I'd like to send you something." He's like, "What you need? Half ounce, 1 ounce egg sinkers, what you use?" And I was like, "Yeah, you got any 8 ounce no rolls?" And he was like, "Oh my God, man." He was like, "Are you for real?" And I was like, "Yeah." Well, a week later, he sent me a message back. He's like, "Just bought an 8 ounce no roll mold. You got some coming your way." What I mean? And the rest has been history. And Dale's never missed a beat. The moment that I called him about starting the Size Matters Trail, he said, "I'm there. Anything you can, I'm bringing door prizes, I'm bringing everything. You bring the sweet tea." And that was, he's been with us ever since too, man. And you can't give enough thanks to guys like Dale. But so what are you thinking, Dale? I'm going to hit you with the question earlier. Are you going to bring a little inventory? Give us a little purchase power, or we just doing pre-orders?
We're bringing it all.
Bringing the trailer?
I don't know about that yet, but we're bringing it all.
Justin,
I can get it over there.
He come pick it up for you.
Hey, look, I'd pay him. Hey, look, I want to thank Eddie for the hat. Where's it at? There it is. Got me a brand new hat.
I want to thank Eddie for the hat too. I got mine right here. However, I used to work at the prison, and I was in the I was on the rapid response team, the RT, for about 9 years while I was out there, and it was really strict military style, and they were so adamant about us not wearing a hat indoors, and it's something that has stuck with me. So to this day, I never wear my hat inside, and that was one. And I was not military, but our leaders were. And, that was a kind of a military thing that stuck with me. So the moment I walk through the door, my hat goes off. When I get in my truck, my hat goes off. So yeah, I don't have it on my head, but it is right here. It's the only hat that I can.
Yeah, but you ain't got to worry about brushing.
I got another hat that I can reach right here.
Hey, you ain't got to worry about brushing your hair.
Well, that's true.
So we
I just got out of bed.
Talking about hats and stuff, we will be bringing our Tackle 22 merch up there, or down there rather, to the tournament as well. We'll have some stuff for sale. We'll be doing some giveaways to veterans that come out for the tournament, and the anglers that support. But we got some questions in the chat, Chad. So we'll start with some of those. Dan Graber asked, "What state license do we need?"
Okay, so that's going to be probably the most tricky question that can be asked, because it is Lake Seminole is literally the confluence of 3 states.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you this: if you're going to fish below the dam and you want to fish the Apalachicola River, you will only need a Florida license. You just need your Florida license, and you can fish the Apalachicola River. Okay. If you want to fish Lake Seminole, the vast majority of the lower end of Lake Seminole, where it actually looks like a lake, where you do most of your dragging, is going to be a Florida license. Once you go up the Chattahoochee River about 10 or 15 miles, you cross over and there is a stretch where you would need an Alabama license. If you go up the Flint River at all, as soon as you go to the north side of the lake on the northeast side and go into the Flint River, you're actually required to have a Georgia license. So I know that one is the most complicated question. What I would tell you is to do a little bit of research on what part of the lake you think you may want to fish. If somebody has any questions about that, if you guys can either send Eddie a message and he can get you in contact with me, you can send me a message on the Size Matters Trail page, and one of our guys will read that message and try to help you out, because I don't want you to have to come down here and buy 2 or 3 licenses. So if it's within reason, we can kind of help you. Ultimately, the ultimate decision is going to be on you as to which license you have to have. But we can kind of break that area into three places. And like I said, we would be more than glad to help in any way we can as far as what you may need. So just send us a message on the Size Matters Trail page or Size Matters Fishing, or you can send me a personal message.
So Steve Ferguson had a interesting comment, and I'll get with you offline about this, Steve. But apparently, you can apply for a military or disabled event license exemption permit. So if an event, outdoor event, is being held that for the rehabilitation or enjoyment of disabled veterans or active or reserve duty service members, may apply for an event license exemption permit to exempt qualified event participants from Florida's recreational hunting and fishing license permit requirements. So
that's very interesting.
So that might be something we can look into.
Yeah. And if you can send me that link or wherever exactly where you come across that at, I'll be glad to make a phone call tomorrow and see what we might could work out, because we definitely want to help out in any way we can, because like I said, it is very tricky as to where we're at.
For sure. Shane Nolan asked, is there a live well size requirement?
No. And one of the reasons is because we have a lot of people that fish our local rivers down here, that actually fish off of 14 and 15 foot boats. So you see a lot of 60, 100 quart cooler ice chest with aeration systems and whatnot in it. So no, we would not have that. But what I will say is, please do your due diligence to make sure that you put yourself in the best position available, that you can, to make sure that fish care is a priority. Because if you bring a dead fish to the weigh-in, if it's dead, that's a disqualification.
Don't bring dead
live fish.
Do not bring dead fish to the weigh-in.
You got to bring live fish. Now, I will say that the way that the Size Matters Trail handles our events, is you're required to bring us a living fish, a legitimately living fish. I don't want a fish that's stiff, but he's gilling. Bring me a legitimate fish that can at least make an attempt to swim and have life. Like I said, don't bring me one out the cooler just because he's gilling. Bring me a legitimate live fish. Once we take that fish over, our committee will do everything in their power to make sure that fish has its best chance to survive. We'll have a 300-gallon tank out there with oxygen in it. We'll put any fish that's within question in there, give that fish the best chance to live. If we need to put a fish on a boat and take it out to a little bit fresher water, we'll do that as well. Luckily, the water temperature has started to drop a little bit down here. It's not scalding hot anymore. So that's going to help. But we'll do everything that we can. But you bring me a live fish and you're legal, and we will handle the fish from there. And if Lord forbid, your fish passes, once it's in our care, that's on us. That's not on you. You did your part. So like I said, just don't put us in a bad position. And, so.
Hey, Chad, when is the captain's meeting?
Okay, so the captain's meeting will be at 4:00 a.m. Saturday morning, November 12th.
So what are we going to do if some of these people won't tackle before they go fishing? We're going to put it at your house or what?
You're going to have to be there early.
Oh, we can set up early. That ain't no problem.
No, so we'll be set up. So, all right. Yeah, so we'll be set up early. So typically we'll go out Friday night and pretty much set everything up. We'll put our banners up and all that. And then we will. There is a hotel right there in Sneed's. It's not a big hotel. It books out relatively quick, and it's not a fancy hotel, but it's the Seminole Inn. I think it's not a bad fishing hotel. It's what you're going to see at most fishing communities.
Right.
It gets the job done. So if anybody needs to come down early the day before, that's fine. That's a good place to stay, or you can stay 10 minutes away in Marietta. But we'll set up most everything the night before. If somebody needs tackle that morning, Dale, if you're coming in, are you going to come in on Friday?
Yeah, I'll be there early Friday morning.
Okay, so if Dale will be there Friday, so if anybody needs tackle, maybe Friday afternoon, maybe we can, I'm sure that if Dale comes into town, we'll probably go have dinner or something. So anybody that comes in early, we'll go out and have dinner, and we'll let everybody know where they can get tackle at. But if not,
Eddie's
we'll
bringing a credit card. We're going to eat.
Yeah, well,
Eddie's bringing Dale's credit card, but
I'm leaving it at home.
We're gonna try to get there all pretty early on Friday too, so we can all go out and have a family dinner. And we have a month until the event. We'll have more live streams to promote the event and give out more information. So I'm sure we can come up with a location for Friday evening sometime for some fellowship and some food. Yeah, cat fishermen can eat.
Yep, absolutely. And like I said, and I don't think it'll be very hard. Like I said, we're going to set up a handful of more things. So I think we're going to try to do this once a week between now and the tournament. Right, we're going to do this every Wednesday night.
Yes, sir.
And so we'll have a live feed every Wednesday night. We'll go over it. So as we plan in these other things, we'll kind of make those announcements. But yeah, we'll work out the tackle. We definitely want to make sure that everybody that needs it has the ability to get it ahead of time. Hey, so I have bad news, Justin.
No, don't say it.
Down home closed down midsummer. And I don't know the details. I never really got the details, but our town is absolutely heartbroken. They were such a great place to eat, and a really great family ran it. And, we're very sad and disappointed, but we're wishing them all the best. But I'll have to buy you another version of it. But
Daniel said that Panama City sounds like a good spot to be on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, that's a long ride in the opposite direction for me.
I'm telling you, I think I'm gonna leave PCB alone.
Yeah. It'd be hard to go down there and get up by 4:00 and be back in Sneed's 2 hours away at 4 o'clock the next morning. But yeah, so we're going to have, I'll touch on a handful of the other things, before we get too long on here. But one thing that we're going to do, so Saturday when the fishermen for the boat tournament leave, about 10 o'clock, we're going to host a free kids fishing tournament. We're going to have cash prizes for the kids. We'll have them some certificates. I talked with the Pizza Hut today in Bluntstown. They're going to give us 5 or 10, personal pan pizza cards for the kids to get. So we're going to have, like I said, that's just going to be a free kids fishing tournament. So anybody that wants to come out, we'll post that flyer this coming up week 2. But anybody that wants to come out and bring a kid that does not have a boat, that can't get out on the boat, kids, and I don't know what the age will be. I don't remember what the flyer said. If it was 12 and under or something like that, I think. And obviously they got to be accompanied by a parent. But you'll be able to come fish off the banks of Lake Seminole. You just have to be in eyesight, and there's hundreds of yards of bank right there. But you'll fish for 6 hours from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. It's free to enter. All you got to do is come sign your name and register, sign a waiver, and you can weigh in any fish. So the kids can weigh in any fish. Doesn't matter if it's a gar, if it is a catfish, a brim. If you catch a fish, they can weigh it in. They're going to weigh it in on the same stage that you guys weigh in. They're going to weigh in in and out of the fishermen. It's going to be really cool, and I hope we are able to really show those kids something, pretty special, kind of what fishing's really about. That being said, if anybody's coming to the event and maybe has an extra fishing pole that they want to, put a piece of tape on, write their name on it, and kind of leave there for the day, I'm going to bring probably 10 or 15 rod and reels just to have there for kids that need a rod and reel. We're going to have some tackle. We're going to buy up some bait. So if mama or grandma or grandpa brings the kids out there and they don't have what they need, we're going to make sure we have what they need to just go out there and fish, and catch something, and be a part of that. I do see the comment right here. The boat ramp, it's going to be at Sneed's Park. There's a boat ramp at Sneed's Park in Sneed's, Florida. I'll try to post at some point the actual address of that, but it will be a trailering event as well. So all you have to do is find, whichever boat ramp you want to use on there that's a legal boat ramp, and we're going to make that.
I believe they're weighing in and releasing them immediately.
Yeah,
Steve.
yeah, they'll pretty much, because they'll be within eyesight of us, so they'll pretty much catch their fish, come up and weigh it in, and then release it. But we're going to have a 300-gallon tank set up there, and I have a separate 100-gallon tank. We might keep that up there as well, throw a little oxygen in it and kind of let them, if they catch some brim or something, let them throw it in there, because how it is. The small kids might just rather gather around and watch the fish swim.
I was about to say we could have a little catch tank or something. If they catch some brim or bluegill or something like that, throw them in there and have some little dipper poles for the.
That'd be something pretty cool to do. That's a good idea. So we'll bring both of those tanks. If anybody comes down and might have an extra, an extra small oxygen tank or stone or something, that would be good, which we probably won't need it. I got a bubbler we can plug in, and that we do just fine in that tank. But we will have a company in Bluntstown typically loans us an oxygen tank, so we get free oxygen. That's Gulf State Chemical. They usually donate some oxygen for us. I'm sure they're going to do that again, and then sometime that afternoon, probably starting at 2 or 3 o'clock and going through the weigh-in, we're going to have God's Way Ministry, which is a church that we partner with, and they're going to come out and cook probably something like hot dogs, hamburgers, and maybe chicken wings. It's going to be a really nice afternoon for, just to have some camaraderie out there, some fellowship. It's going to be a good time.
If y'all haven't been to a Size Matters event, God's Way Ministries throws down. The food that they
Absolutely.
cook is absolutely phenomenal. The breakfast spread that they put out for us at the last tournament we fished down there, I could have ate 4 or 5 of them boxes. It was so good.
Yeah, they do a great job, and they, you know, when I asked them last year to be a part of the trail, and come cook out breakfast for us, because they started out with breakfast, because we do a lot of night tournaments, and it's so hard for fishermen to leave the tournament and pull your boat through McDonald's and all. So, I just kind of had the idea of, man, like, if we can serve breakfast, we eliminate a big need for the fishermen in the mornings. And then you raise a little bit of money for the church as well. And they just do such a
Absolutely.
good job. Last year, through some of the donations that we had from the trail, they were not only able to purchase, and then there were other fundraisers that they did, but obviously the trail helped contribute to that through our partnership with them. They sent me some photos last year, and I see them all around town now. But they got a brand new van, and now they have an actual bus. I mean, a Greyhound style bus that they are able to go on trips and stuff on, and we were all able to contribute to that. And
It's amazing.
it's a great testament to what we're doing, and now they're just part of the trail, and it's just such a amazing partnership that we have with them. I love them to death, and you guys will really enjoy being able to talk with them. And a cool thing I'll tell everybody to kind of look for when you come out there, I guarantee you that Mother will be there. So Mother is one of the oldest members of the church, and she is in her high 90s, and gets out there and cooks and takes money and helps organize it. And it is just amazing to see, what they're doing out there. Just a real good group of people. And we're really proud to have a partnership with them. And they're going to cook I can tell you, they do hot dogs, hamburgers, and chicken wings. That's going to be,
Yeah,
good food.
I'm looking forward to that. But so not just for those coming by to support and hang out. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be raffle items. We got the fill the cooler raffle that the Size Matters has been doing all year long. So there's going to be a lot of good opportunities to win some great gear, as well as support our nonprofit. So we hope that everyone who comes out and fishes leaves, or just comes out and supports. We hope that everybody leaves with something. If your heart's not full, your belly will be, and hopefully you got something to throw in the bed of the truck or the trunk of the car on the way home. So we have there's a lot going on, man. Chad has really knocked it out of the park in terms of things going on at the tournament. There's no shortage of stuff sitting around in Chad's shop.
Yeah, and we got a lot of door prizes, and got a lot more coming. And I will, since we're kind of throwing out some of these door prizes out there, I would like to say that for this tournament, the ultimate goal for this tournament is to spread awareness, about veteran suicide. And I'll probably get a little choked up talking about it, but I was not in the military. That being said, I probably respect what you guys did as much as anybody, and I live a really good life. I had 5 kids, and we live a really, really good life because of the sacrifices that others made. And I'm a firm believer that, that we pat you guys on the back and send you over there. And sometimes, we're all a little guilty of losing track of the sacrifices that every single person in the military makes. And, I think we got to do a better job of taking care of our veterans when they come home. And it's there's so many different ways to do it, but y'all realize, I think sometimes I know what a pat on the back, means to me. Luke Combs has a song that, I don't know if you've ever heard it, about "My Name's Joe," and he talks about and I don't even know if that song's released, but I mean, one of the key things in the songs always stuck with me was, the guy works at a 7-Eleven, and he's had a tough life, but got a couple good friends that come by and say, "It's good to see you, brother, man. How you been?" Dude, that goes so much further than some people ever realize.
Sometimes music can be powerful, man. And, talking about the 22 a day and veteran suicide, Daryl Worley has a song called The 22.
Yeah.
And that I can't get through that song, with a dry face.
Man, it's just and that's what I'm saying. So I say that to say this. Our number one goal is to raise some money for Tackle 22, obviously. But at the end of the day, we just really want to spread awareness for what these guys are doing. I know Eddie may not sit here and take credit for it, but I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Is a vision that he had, and there's many companies out there, many people that are doing something along these lines. You know what I mean? So I would like to give all those guys, shout outs. If you're attempting, you're doing it. I mean, if you've made the attempt, you're doing it. And I want to, for this tournament, I really want to see us really get over the edge, and help put these guys over the edge for what they're doing. A few dollars makes such a big difference sometimes, whether it's putting fuel in the boat or buying the bait, or getting that veteran to you. When you contact a veteran, I know you have, every one of them's different, so you have no idea to what extent. It may be a guy that has a lot of money, just having maybe having a tough time, and you just want to show him that he's still thought of, and he can get himself down there. But some of those guys can't get themselves down there, and you have to pay the whole way, put them in a room and everything, and it really adds up. So what I'm asking everybody to do for this tournament, understand the Size Matters Trail is going to walk away from this tournament with $0. Every single dollar that we can earn at this tournament is going to Tackle 22. Not just part of the entries. We will do every door prize that we get. We're gonna sell raffle tickets. These raffle tickets are just the regular raffle tickets. They're gonna be $1. It's just gonna be $1 for a raffle ticket, and it's gonna give you a chance to win an awesome door prize. So please come out. And if you can't make the tournament or anything like that, just come out and support that. If we'll make it where if you want to buy a ticket online or something, we can do that too. If you want to make a donation, we'll work in all that stuff later. But if you have the ability to maybe donate something, I don't ask for stuff very often, and I'm going to ask, all the viewers that are on here, if you have the ability to send, a spool of fishing line, or something that we can raffle away, or something that we can add to this Tackle 22 benefit cooler, to help raise money. I mean, nothing is too small. I had the Calhoun County Airport the other day handed me a thing of golf balls. It's really weird for the airport to hand you golf balls, but I mean, they just did it without thinking. They were, hey, here, add them to the cooler, and it's little things like that sometimes that you don't realize, but it adds up, man, and that means something to somebody, and it's going to mean a lot for us helping raise money. So if somebody wants to do something like that, let Eddie know. You can contact him and send it to him. You can contact us at the Size Matters Trail. You can contact me on Size Matters Fishing. I'll get you an address to where you can send that product. And I know that people sometimes donate stuff and want it to be anonymous. If that's your wish, we completely understand and respect that. If not, if you don't mind us sharing your, let us know that too. We would love to share and promote, because we want to give thanks where credit where credit's due. So if you guys want to help out with this tournament in some form or fashion, and you're not in our area, you can still do that, and just reach out to one of us, and we'll absolutely make that happen.
The most humbling thing when I was doing all the trips myself, before we started a volunteer program, was to get veterans out who had never fished before. These are men and women who are combat veterans. I live right by Fort Benning, and it's the home of the Army Infantry, and You know, a lot of the service members I was taking out, you know, just they weren't fishermen or fisher women, and to just see, to just you could see them take their pack off. You could just see the relaxation in their body, even if we weren't catching fish. You know, it's a alternate. I hate to use the word therapy, but it's alternative therapy. You know what I mean? They don't have to take a pill to de-stress. You know, when we talk about the numbers of veterans, you know, everybody talks about the 22 veterans that commit suicide every day, but they're not talking about the over 30 that attempt every day and don't succeed. That is where we make our impacts, because we're about awareness, prevention, intervention, and intervening will always be better than uh, awareness and prevention. If we can get in the middle before someone hits a crisis point and help them de-stress through alternative means like fishing or doing anything outdoors, just getting outside the four walls of their house, you know, that is a win. That's one less psychoactive substance that they have to put in their body to try to remain normal, you know, day to day. Fishing saved my life. You know, a couple of Marines that I served with have been in a chat. A master sergeant that I worked for, I had a date planned, man. I was gonna end my life, and just out of nowhere, he took me out fishing on the Broad River Bridge in Beaufort, South Carolina, and I caught the biggest sharks I've ever seen in my entire life. And all he did, he didn't ask me no questions. He didn't put me in a corner or make me talk about my feelings. He drank beer and he told me about his time in the Marine Corps, and I never felt like someone knew me more in that moment. And 8 years later, he took his own life, and I owe a debt to him that I can't repay. But I can guarantee you that through Tackle 22, you know, even if it runs into the ground and our volunteers, you know, uh, jump ship, Tackle 22 marches on, because I can't repay him. So you know, we keep on keeping on, and our volunteers are just as passionate, even though they don't carry this weight. They're just as passionate about their brothers and sisters, and that is what humbles me the most, because most of them I've never met in person. You know, it's through video chat, it's through phone calls and text messages, and they get it. They they live it, they breathe it. They know that their own uh friends that they served with in the military, a lot of them are no longer here, and that I just, man, we get tired of getting those phone calls. We get tired of reading on Facebook that another one's gone. You know, we can't lose anymore.
Oh man,
If
I
if the
agree.
numbers continue for 20 years, it's almost half a million, or 40 years, it's almost half a million veterans, half a million men and women who serve this country that'll no longer be here. That's twice the size of the United States Marine Corps. Twice the size. We have
That's
to do better.
humbling. That's a humbling number to think about. Um,
Whether it's Tackle 22 fishing, whether it's Patriot cat fishing, whether it's the Fallen Outdoors, there are a number of great veterans organizations across this country. I don't care if it's not a Tackle 22 event. I'm going to show up and support as best I can. We've done events with the Fallen Outdoors this year. I just got back from a Patriot cat fishing event. It should not ever matter whose whose name is on the banner when it comes to the lives of veterans. Those are people who stood on the line for you and me, watched my back, and ensure that we come home to a free United States. I'll be there.
I 100% agree, and you know, and this tournament, you know, has been one that's been circled on my calendar since the beginning, and you know, we knew we had, you know, big plans for it, and we're a little restricted. You know, we're in a tough area down here. A lot of people don't like to drive south to catfish. You know, I mean, it's when you're in your area, you know, the logic thing to do to go fishing is to go to the Tennessee River.
Right.
I mean, so we're handcuffed a little bit. But what I will say is that we have a really good fishery down here to offer. We have some really good fishermen down here that are knowledgeable and that I think a lot of people would enjoy coming down to fish with. And at the end of the day, it's, it's about the fishing, but it's not, the fishing is our connection point. It's our way to reach out. If the fishing is our path, it's our avenue. That's how we've all met. That's how every person that's on this, chat just about, probably came in here because of fishing has brought us together. But there's just something that's bigger out there, and I really think that, now, with everything in the country going the way it goes and everything, man, it's just, now is the probably the most volatile time in our country's history. If any, where we just need to kind of all stand together and stand up for what's right. But I can tell you, man, at the end of the day, what's right is supporting the ones that actually get on that plane or get on that boat and cross that big water, or that stand here and fight for us, right here in our own country. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go to fight, you know what I mean? But we have to do a better job as a whole and just supporting that.
James, I miss fishing Paris Island. I was in Beaufort for 4 years, and we used to always tear up the shrimp there at the pond on the way in towards when you come in the front gate. But I'm looking forward to get back out there because me and Hollywood got to have a rematch because during the Apalachicola tournament, we both took off for the dam, and he wound up just a little bit ahead of me. But the old Dynasty's got a new lower unit, so she's ready to get back out there. You're going down, Daniel.
Hey, when it's all said and done and all the fish are weighed in, we may have to put y'all back out there and line them up, see what happens.
We got to do like a good 3-4 mile run, and then Big Country's gonna dust us both because he's got Churchwell's old Tundra.
That might not be fair.
No, he
well, I guess it's technically not fiberglass, is it?
Oh, it's aluminum. But
no, it is, but it moves like fiberglass.
Oh, buddy,
that's a different design. So
you get that thing trimmed all the way out, it starts shining like one of them bass boats.
Yeah. Well, just kind of to wrap it all up, like I just want to, we're gonna have the flyer probably come out tomorrow. Within a day or so after that, we'll have the ACA registration up. So obviously you can get your ACA points, if you come down. Dan Lobby is our ACA coordinator, so he'll get all that set up, and Hollywood Daniel, he's obviously on our committee, and Dale and and all those guys. So we have a good crew down here. These guys work hard to throw a good tournament, and they do really good at our weigh-ins. We keep it interesting. We try to handle the fish with care. I think everybody that comes down will enjoy it. If you have any questions about the fishery in general, I'm going to throw a plug to my YouTube channel, but it's not for the normal reason. If you're not sure about it, I do on Size Matters Fishing on YouTube. I have hundreds of videos, and there's a lot of them that specifically say in the title, Lake Seminole, the Apalachicola River. That's a really good place to start.
Go support Chad's YouTube channel.
Do what?
I said go support Chad's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Everybody go subscribe.
But definitely, that's a good place to start. If you have any questions, like I said, send me a message, or send a message to the Size Matters Trail page. I've got, all of our admins on there. Somebody will get back to you usually pretty quickly. We'll definitely look into the fishing license exemption possibility. But regardless, we can, if you kind of have to decide which part of the lake you want to go, but we can definitely help dial you in to which license that you need. And I think all 3 states have it pretty well, where you can pretty easily go online and purchase those, from your smartphone.
Yeah.
Like I said, if anybody has any If somebody has a product they would like to donate, like I said, there's nothing too big, nothing too small. Shoot one of us a message, and we'll find a way. Whether you send it to Eddie and he bring it down, or you send it down here to me, whatever's the easiest, we'll work on that. If you want to add something to the cooler, let us know. We would love to have that. It's a great way to support Tackle 22. And if for some reason, somebody's out there and would like to just help sponsor one of the payouts, to donate to the actual tournament, or donate to, we do veteran big fish. We do veteran big fish, youth big fish, and female big fish. We'll pay out all three of those at this tournament. Plus we're doing the free kids fishing tournament on the bank. That's another place, if somebody wants to send something, that's perfectly fine. Let us know. If you're from a company, we'll get your receipt, to make sure that your donation, you can file that. So anyways, but if somebody wants to come down and fish and has any questions, man, just reach out to us.
Yep. We've been on for about an hour, guys. We'll be back on every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. to give updates as, things happen before the tournament, as well as, just try to connect with new viewers looking for information about the tournament. So be looking out for us next Wednesday. Go follow the Size Matters Trail on Facebook and Size Matters Fishing on YouTube. Send old Chad Bailey some likes and comments, and send him some stars and subscribe and all that good stuff to show our appreciation for him supporting us, Chad, man. I really appreciate it. And to everyone watching, pick up the phone, send a message, send a text, send a Facebook message, send a tweet, send something, to someone you ain't spoke to in a while, a friend from way back. You never know, a small gesture can save a life, and you can make the difference. So I appreciate you guys. Chad, thanks again, and we'll see y'all next week.